Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. However you place you are tuned into Life as Signatures Radio. I hope you're doing well and I hope everything is going on well with you in this new year 2023. Even as we're discussing in this, we found us in the middle of a series, and in this series we're talking about how to inject meaning or purpose in a job that you hate. This is important because if you did the math, or if you did the statistics, or if you just asked, go around and issue questionnaires, you'll find invariably that a very big percentage, towards 50% of people in their vocations, they hate their vocations, they hate their jobs. And that's a very bad problem, because man was created for purpose and man was created for productivity. There's no other reason for the existence of man. So why will you be stuck in a place where you're not productive, or a place where you hate and you're supposed to be productive in there? We're trying to rectify that by talking about the different ways in which you can be able to inject meaning into your life now that you are not quitting it. Stay tuned.
Welcome to the Life Signatures podcast with Lawrence Namale. Lawrence is a life coach, author, and keynote speaker who loves to tackle different topics on purpose, productivity, and resilience. His mission in life is to awaken all your boundless possibilities available in you. Life Signatures podcast is dedicated to bring to reality every single person who knows that deep down in their gut there's got to be more to life than this. And now, here is your host, Lawrence Namale.
Let us get started by doing a recap here. We've been talking about how to inject meaning in a job that you hate. How to inject meaning in a job that you hate. This is very, very interesting because you are still in that particular job. You have not quit it. You are still there. Because you have two options. Get out of it. That's one option. Now that you are not getting out of it, you are staying there, and you hate it, you need to inject meaning into it. Why? Two things normally happen when you don't inject meaning into a job that you hate. Number one, you corrode, you waste away. In fact, you kill your chances of even getting a better place for yourself because you are corroding. Number two, you're corroding the organization that you're working for because it's supposed to prosper. You're supposed to be productive at it. They're counting on you. They're paying you for that. Now that you're not being productive there, because you cannot be productive in something you hate unless you're a slave and unless you're being beaten. But there's an opportunity for you to work, and there's somewhere you can be unproductive and you just draw a salary. Just draw a salary out of it. How do you inject meaning in there? Number one, connect to the vision of the organization. We talked about that. You can just go back to the previous episodes and you can take a look at that. Number two, play by your strengths. Very important. You can look at the previous episodes. Number three, put in excellence. Right? You hate it, but excellence is not brought about by you feeling good, feeling that you want to work. No, you make a decision, an intention, draw a line in the sand, and you say, now that I'm here, I'm going to be known by the excellence of what I do. Even if I hate this place, I'm going to do it for me. Going to be excellent. Then number four, yesterday we talked about preparing yourself for what? Preparing yourself for purpose. Now that you know that this is not your destiny, this is not your purpose, while still there, you start preparing yourself for what is yet to come in your life. Number five, if you're going to inject any semblance of meaning into your life, number five, get organized. This is one of the most interesting things. The thank God it's Friday crew don't plan. Okay, not all of them, but most people who look at Friday and they hate Mondays, especially those guys who hate Mondays, they don't plan their weeks. You get to work and you have an in tray is so full, the out tray, you have not organized yourself. You don't know what comes first, what comes next. There's this meeting you missed, there's this assignment you did not submit, you did not finish. Some things are piling and piling and piling and piling and piling, and this way you get to start hating your work. Even if you're equipped to do it, even if it's smack in the middle of your purpose, the more disorganized you are about this job, the more you are likely to start hating it. So get organized in your job. I normally tell people, stay back before the week begins. Get your 2 hours and look at every hour of the next coming week. And make a plan, account for that week, budget in terms of your time for that particular week, how it is going to look like, what you're going to do, what you're going to be known for doing, what you're going to prepare yourself for, what meetings you're going to do. Then decide in your plan, what must I finish on Monday? What must I finish on Tuesday? What must I finish on Wednesday? And then also decide, what must I start? What must I initiate? What must I begin? What must I champion in that particular week? Plan your week. Get organized. The more disorganized you are, the more you start hating your job. The likely you are to start hating the job, even if it's smack in the middle of your purpose, even if it's something that you're supposed to be doing in the first place. Just get disorganized a little and you start hating your job. Just get disorganized a little and you start hating. If you're in a place where you can be able to ask for help from people, maybe you're a leader, you can delegate, you know what that is. But delegation, remember, delegation is not abdication, but delegate. If you're not a leader, if you can ask for help from a friend or a colleague and so on, get that particular help. But by all means, when you're given tasks to do, organize yourself. Get organized. The more organized you are, the more you're going to be loving your job. In fact, invariably, if you look at the guys who are disorganized at their work, for the most part, these are the people who will start playing catch up. And when catch up doesn't work, they invariably start hating the jobs that they have been given to do. And when they start hating the jobs they've been given to do, the passion for it disappears. In fact, they become even much more disorganized. Sometimes that overtime, you need it for planning. That overtime, you need it to get organized. Maybe you might just need 1 week to do an overtime that is even unpaid. I know of organizations that do not allow overtime, but they don't put a gun on your head and they tell you to walk out of job after 5. For yourself, you can remain there, or you can go early and decide you're going to do overtime specifically so that you can get organized, you can get your work together. And the more you are running ahead of time of things, for example, if your work is to create magazines for the organization, how about you have 2 issues ahead? You are in January, but you have the March issue already done. I tell you, that is organization of the highest order. And when you go to that organization, there is no backlog anymore. In fact, by the way, you start having much more time on your hands to even do things with finesse, with excellence, like we said in two episodes back. When you start doing things with excellence, you start loving them. Passion bandwagons on you. And you're doing this because you are initially an organized force. You're an organized human being. So number 5, the quickest way to inject meaning, to inject purpose in a job that you hate, it is to get organized. If you are not organized, you're going to hate it. And if you hate it, you're not going to be productive at it. So get organized. Tomorrow we're going to look at one more way, but until then, bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Life Signatures Radio. If you enjoyed today's show, subscribe to Life Signatures Radio on iTunes, Stitcher, or visit our website at lifesignatures.libsyn.com. Life Signatures Radio, fresh, clean, and inspiring.